Welcome to my channel. Welcome to channel. Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Please like, subscribe, and share. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. In Matthew 18, verse 6, but whoso shall be one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Going down. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips a balance in favor of fair use. I hope that everybody will share this because this is very important. Because the FBI, they are looking for other leads to where this monster had done this. Hey there, how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, everyone. This monster, Lance C. Spencer, in Huntington, West Virginia, is a former coach arrested for 16 counts of child rape. I will have to mute my mic so that y'all be able to hear. So, without further ado,
Oh my God! Holy shit!
Gymnastics center accused of sexually abusing children appears in court. Lance Spencer is a former gymnastics coach at Bogey's Gymnast in Huntington.
And he's facing 16 counts of alleged abuse that goes back more than 2 decades. Kimberly Kege is in our newsroom this evening. And Kimberly, Spencer appeared in court today.
Well, this was Lance Spencer's first court appearance since his arrest and the indictment in May. He did appear in court virtually.
A former gymnastics coach is facing 16 counts of child sexual abuse charges. Lance Spencer appeared virtually in court on Tuesday.
Are you Lance Spencer, sir?
Yes, sir.
It's his first appearance since his arrest in May in connection with the alleged abuse that dates back more than 2 decades. According to the indictment, the abuse involves at least 3 victims and happened on numerous occasions at a home and at Bogey's Gymnast where he worked as a coach. On Tuesday, Spencer's attorney, Carrie Nessel, filed a motion to appoint co-counsel.
To be a voluminous amount of discovery in this matter.
But in any event, the state does object to the appointment of a second attorney. This is not a capital case.
The state expressed concern over a conflict of interest between additional counsel and a potential witness. But Judge Farrell ultimately ended up granting that motion to add co-counsel to Spencer's defense. On the day of Spencer's arrest in May, deputies could be seen removing totes from his home filled with electronic devices, computers, hard drives, and videotapes. Investigators say they believe that evidence will likely lead them to more victims and hope anyone who may have been abused comes forward. Cabell County Sheriff Chuck Zirkle says they're still processing evidence at this point in time. And we did reach out to Bogey's Gymnast about Spencer's arrest when it happened. They released a statement that reads in part, "We are unaffiliated with the former employee. We parted ways with him when allegations first surfaced from Safe Sport."
Now, as for what's next for Spencer, he is due in court in July for a status hearing.
Kimberly, thank you so much. Law enforcement still wanting to remind any potential victims there is no statute of limitations, so it is not too late to speak up. The FBI has actually set up a hotline and a form for any potential victims to contact them related to this case, and you can do that by scanning that QR code that you see on your screen. This information also on WSAZ.com.
It's Father's Day, and for a
He is a creep for sure. Can you hear me okay? Please put it on again. Yes, I believe he's a creep. I heard myself there, so it should be okay. So the former gymnast coach charged with child sexual abuse faces a judge. This was June the 11th, 2024, at 9:32 a.m. when it was published. This former gymnastics coach charged with 16 counts of child sexual abuse appeared in court on Tuesday. Lance C. Spencer, 55 of Huntington, is charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse by a custodian and multiple counts of sexual abuse by a person in a position of trust to a child. The Cabell County grand jury returned a multi-count indictment against Spencer in May. According to the indictment, the abuse involved at least three victims and and they think there's other ones out there, which we know there probably are. And happened over several years, including 2003, 2004, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2019, and 2021. The incidents allegedly happened at a home and at Bosie's Gymnast, where Spencer worked as a gymnastics coach. We know our little ones love gymnastics. So if anyone had any affiliation with this guy or anything, please contact the police. On Tuesday, Kerry Nessel, Spencer's attorney, filed a motion to appoint co-counsel. The state objected to the appointment of a co-counsel as the case was not a capital case and expressed concern over a conflict of interest with a potential witness. Circuit Judge Paul T. Farrell granted the motion to add co-counsel to Spencer's defense. Spencer is due back in court on July the 30th for a status hearing. The FBI has set up a hotline for any potential victims to contact them related to this case. Please call 1-800-CALL-FBI for assistance. The FBI's Pittsburgh division is also looking for anyone who believes they have been a victim of Lance Spencer to submit their information in a short online form. Due to the volume of possible victims, we ask for your patience as it may take significant time before you are contacted by law enforcement, the agency stated. And here is the QR code that would take you to that form, which shows right there. But I clicked on this link on this page where it says short online form, and it took me to this one. Okay. And this is how can we help you seeking victim information in Spencer investigation. The FBI Pittsburgh division is seeking to identify potential victims of Lance Spencer, who was recently charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse by a person in a position of trust to a child in the Circuit Court of Cabell County, West Virginia. The FBI believed he primarily targeted minor females between the time frame of 2003 through 2023 who attended Bosie's Gymnast And by all means, he could have attacked anyone at a grocery store, candy store, anywhere. Anywhere where the people might have trusted him. Say, hey, he's a coach, you can trust him. No telling. In your own neighborhood. Who knows, right? Lance Spencer has been a gymnastics coach for the past 2 decades, sorry. It is believed that Spencer utilized this position as a coach to gain access to minor females. There are multiple allegations of Spencer engaging in sexual acts with a minor and inappropriately touching minors under the guise of coaching and/or physical therapy. If you and/or your minor dependent were victimized by Lance Spencer or have information relevant to this investigation, please fill out this short form, which I'll show you how it looks in a few minutes after I click that one. Due to the volume of possible victims, we ask for your patience as it may take significant time before you are contacted by law enforcement. If you know of someone else who has possibly been victimized by Lance Spencer, please encourage them to complete the form themselves. Individuals under the age of 18 should have a parent or guardian fill out the form on their behalf. By any means, when it's 20 decades, some of the victims are now adults and stuff. But like they said, the statute of limitations did not run out. Go and prosecute this guy. Get him. Get him. Get him out of here. We're good. He needs to pay for all he's done to all these people, and including you if you are one of the victims. The FBI is legally mandated to identify victims of federal crimes it investigates. See, that's what I don't understand because, that other crime with that Alabama state trooper, they didn't want to get involved because it's a state, they got that state trooper, and yet he worked for the FBI. Why did they not go ahead and go after him and prosecute him as well? And they didn't deem it as a federal crime, and that's wrong. They should get them. And I don't think they're doing their job not prosecuting that other guy that was an Alabama state trooper. Victims may be eligible for certain services, restitution, and rights under federal and/or state law. Your responses are voluntary but may be useful in the federal investigation and to identify you as a potential victim. Based on the responses provided, you may be contacted by the FBI and asked to provide additional information. All identities of victims will be kept confidential. So I clicked on this short form here, and so now it took me to here, where it's got that still the same words right here, but you go further down, and then here's where you actually fill out the contact information, your name, your middle name, your last name, your date of birth, and such and on, phone number, email, address, da 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 da. I am filing this form on behalf of myself, my minor dependents. If filling this form out on behalf of a minor, please provide the minor's dependents, and it goes on and on. There's all these questions right here. And it said the FBI is authorized to collect the information on this form by one or more of the following provisions. Title 28, United States Code, Sections 533 and 534. Title 28, Code of Federal Regulations, Section 0.85, and the Attorney General Guidelines for Victim and Witness Assistance. The information requested will assist the FBI in providing you with assistance to which crime victims are entitled under federal law. You do not have to provide the requested information. However, failure to do so may hinder the FBI in providing you with crime victim assistance. Plus, when you not telling and stuff like that, it keeps predators at bay a lot of times, and some of them don't get prosecuted. The information collected on this form is protected by the Privacy Act of 1974 as amended, Title 5, United States Code, Section 552A, and is maintained in the FBI Central Records System, DOJ FBI/002. a description of which was published in the Federal Register at 63 Federal Registration 8671, February 20th, 1998, and which may be viewed as a link right there. And of course, then you'll have to say, I'm not a robot, da 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 da, and submit. And so we go to this page where it says, FBI seeks help identifying victims in child sexual abuse involving former gymnastics coach. This was May the 15th, 2024. The FBI Pittsburgh division is seeking the public's assistance in identifying victims in a child sexual abuse case involving a former gymnastic coach. The coach, Lance Spencer, worked in the field for nearly 20 years. Authorities believe he targeted mostly young girls during his tenure at Bosie's Gymnast from 2003 to 2023. The gym confirmed Spencer was an employee but severed ties once the allegations surfaced. Spencer allegedly used his coaching position to gain access to minors and abuse them. The FBI has received multiple reports that he engaged in sexual acts with minors and inappropriately touched them, claiming it was part of coaching or physical therapy. I really beg to differ sometimes, but 20 years, some of these people had to know sooner, you know. Had to. They had to have. Had to see the wrong touch or something. Y'all probably swept it under the rug, but now when it got more serious, you're going to go like that and say you got rid of them right away. We don't know that for a fact. We know for a fact that a lot of victims do come forward and it gets swept under the rug and nobody listens. So I'm not going to bank it on them just getting rid of them right when they found out. I don't believe everything everybody says. That's their way, a lot of places' ways that they cover their own butt. The investigation is ongoing. The FBI urges anyone who might be a victim or has relevant information to fill out an online form. They also ask those who know potential victims to encourage them to complete the form. For minors, a parent or guardian should fill it out. Given the potential high number of victims, the FBI notes it may take some time to contact everyone. Lance Spencer, 55, from Huntington, faces multiple charges in Cabell County. He was indicted by a grand jury on several counts of sexual abuse by a custodian and by a person in a position of trust to a child. Spencer was recently arrested and is being held in the Western Regional Jail on $300,000 cash only bond. The Cabell County Sheriff's Office and FBI conducted the investigation together. But we got to wait till the end of July to find out more on this case. Y'all please pass this on because since the FBI are looking for other victims of this culprit, let's be a voice. Let's help help get the word out. Please pass this on. This is really a sick guy. I think y'all seen his picture a few minutes ago. I got it on the main page. Let's see if I can see the. I'm gonna put images up right here so that y'all can see the different. These. Let me share my page again. Okay. Share screen. Allow. So this is the culprit right here. What you do it had on the video. That's the culprit. Gonna get it really big for y'all. There he is. Lance Spencer. This is where the girl, the Hendrickson and Long, there's a lawsuit lawsuit thing where these people are going to try to prosecute the guy. It's at Henderson and Long PLLC. So disregard these other people's pictures. These three right here are the main ones. And this right here, let me check this out. The West Virginia trial lawyers, attorneys who fight for truth. Lance Spencer, former gymnastics coach, faces 16 counts of child sexual abuse. This is published May 17th, Hendrickson and Long, PLLC. Huntington parents and community members have learned of some shocking news. A former gymnastic coach in our area is in the middle of a troubling case of sexual abuse. Lance Spencer was indicted on 16 counts of child sexual abuse after a joint investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Cabell County Sheriff's Office. The 55-year-old Huntington resident is facing multiple counts, including sexual abuse by a custodian and sexual abuse by a person in a position of trust to a child. The Cabell County Sheriff launched an investigation in 2022 into Lance Spencer, the former gymnastics coach, who now faces 16 counts of child sexual abuse after a reported incident to the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, an organization that investigates allegations like these. All of these inappropriate acts allegedly occurred between 2003 and 2021. These cases involve at least 3 youths from the area. However, law enforcement officials believe that Spencer may have victimized more children. Possibility of more victims. Cabell County Sheriff Chuck Zirkle wants anyone with information or who has been abused to come forward in this case. Prosecuting attorney Jason Spears also noted, in cases like this, sometimes the first person that comes forward is the hardest, but what may give the courage to someone else to say, hey, you know what? I was in those shoes as well, and to come forward. It will be investigated as relentlessly until we know it's done and justice is done. Anyone affected by these allegations, alleged crimes, can contact the Cabell County Sheriff's Office or fill out the FBI's Pittsburgh Division's online form. The alleged abuse occurred at Spencer's home in Huntington and Boise Gymnasts, where he worked as a gymnastics coach. Many of the alleged sexual abuse acts were performed under the guise of assisted female students with physical therapy or gymnastic instructions. Currently, Spencer is being held at the Western Regional Jail on a $300,000 cash-only bond. Holding these individuals accountable. Spencer's alleged actions serve as a stark reminder that we must do more to protect our youth from exploitation by those in authority. However, this case is not an isolated incident. Over the years, the legal team at Hendrickson and Long, PLLC, has witnessed numerous instances of individuals entrusted with the care of children betraying that trust, leaving lasting emotional scars on young lives. One of the most heartbreaking examples is the Miracle Meadows case. For 3 decades, this residential facility in West Virginia was meant to provide services to troubled youth, which I think I need to look that case up, don't I, y'all? Let me write down that Miracle Meadows case in West Virginia. Maybe I'll try to have it up here tomorrow or something like that so we find out more on what happened there. Instead, it became a breeding ground for abuse. Staff members perpetrated unimaginable acts of sexual and physical abuse. The victims, dozens of students, endured trauma that will haunt them for a lifetime. Even today, these acts of abuse are still common across the globe, with Paris Hilton recently highlighting abuse allegations in Jamaica. No community is immune from these deplorable acts. The role of sexual abuse legal advocacy. As one of the representatives of the Miracle Meadow survivors, we fought tirelessly to bring justice to those affected. Our efforts culminated in a landmark achievement, a $100 million settlement. Our team also worked to secure a $2 million settlement in another school abuse case. While these instances of child abuse tend to end up in the spotlight, excuse me, they are not the only ones affecting families across West Virginia. Many victims are suffering in silence due to the traumatic experience at the hands of trusted individuals. If you or someone you know has been affected by child sexual abuse in the pending Spencer case or another incident, which if you're in that area in Huntington, West Virginia area, it says contact the Henderson and Long PLLC. They're ready to assist with these sensitive legal matters. We are here to provide you with the guidance, support, and representation you deserve as you fight for justice. And you may have lived there long ago and was victimized there, and you can still go there and sue. Go there and get the justice you deserve. We are here to provide you with the guidance, support, and representation you deserve as you fight for justice. Remember that you are not alone. Your voice matters. Take the next step and contact one of our law attorneys at Hendrickson and Long, PLLC today. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I definitely need to look up. I've got it written down, Miracle Metals case. And I'll try to have that on there sometime tomorrow if y'all would like. And let's pray for the families, everyone's involved. Let's pray that all these children affected, and y'all knew the other cases that happened in West Virginia where that girl had died, and caseworker said well, she didn't know nothing about it, but the police officer said, yeah, you did. I was there so many years ago and she started that, but they didn't help that little girl at all. Now a teenager that she deceased. Well, thank y'all so much. Honestly, God bless to each and every one of y'all, and please pass this on because it needs out there. Maybe other victims will come up and get the help they need and the justice they need. Thank you so much, and God bless each and every one of y'all. Lots of love. Thank you. Yeah, you giving them hearts. I appreciate y'all giving them hearts. Thank you so much. They deserve all the hearts. God bless y'all.